down doors that nearly crushed my cameramen, to getting struck by lightning in the Everglades, and everything in between. These are my top 5 moments on expeditions. Coming in at number 5. So here we were in Baja for Mystery of the Black Demon Shark, and we were using these badass razors. You guys know those razors. They're like the sand buggy car type things that go a gazillion miles an hour, and we're using these awesome ones to cruise along the Baja Peninsula, to go to these remote fishing villages and meet with these Mexican fishermen, and it was super rad, and we were ripping it up. And me being me, I'm driving. I got my producer sitting shotgun next to me, and the sound guy, John Rondano, or the man behind me, and we're ripping it up. As we're doing it, heading down the beach, I'm like throwing these giant sand waves off the back tire because we're cruising through the deep sand. It's super duper fun. And as we're doing that, Johnny, my cameraman driving the other buggy, goes, "Dude, you got to do that for a shot and spray the sand over the camera." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, let's go." Me being me, I didn't like the look of the seatbelt, so of course I didn't have a seatbelt on. And Johnny sets up the camera, he gets out, he's like, "All right, run down the beach at full speed and turn right here." And I'm like, "You got it."
He flew out.
I hit the gas, we're going like full speed, like 40, 50 miles an hour, and get to the camera and crank the wheel.
He flew out.
The thing just goes up, the spray is epic, and then the thing just rolls over onto its side, and I get flung out, have the ATV land on top of me. The camera guy, he goes straight into the ground with his like super expensive red camera. The sound guy stuff goes flying. The audio guy stuff goes flying. And it was a huge moment where we rolled this ATV super unexpectedly. And I actually, thank God I didn't get crushed, because I actually know a guy, Albert, who lost his leg doing something very, very similar. But I actually slid out without getting fully crushed by the ATV, and everything was okay. But I did get these pretty sweet little scars to never forget the accident by, right here where the thing landed on me. We got up from the accident. Everybody was a little rattled. Our medic Josh came running over. He's like, "Are you guys okay? Are you guys okay?" And I don't know what the hell's wrong with my brain, but I was laughing. I thought it was funny, and got pulled out, and I was fine. We were all a little banged up, but the funniest part of the end of that was Mitch grabbing his super expensive, brand new red cinema camera, holding it up and hitting it like this, and the sand just trickling out of it. He was so mad at me.
This is what it's like working with Forrest Galante.
Did not see that one coming, so that was a pretty serious moment. So coming in at number 4. This was the time that an elephant nearly flattened our beloved camera guy, JQ. So this was insane.
Yes,
if you guys don't know, we did this thing in Mozambique where we conducted the largest elephant translocation in Mozambique in history. We went there in a time where the elephants and humans were in major conflict. The elephants had bullet holes in them, and they had snare wounds and all kinds of stuff. And we were tasked with capturing and saving this giant family with 24 elephants in total, and capturing and saving them and moving them from an area outside of Maputo, Mozambique, to an area called Zanav in the north. If you want to see that, it's honestly, it's my favorite TV show we've ever made. I think it's just beautifully produced.
So that's how they transport elephants.
So heartwarming to
they
see
tranquilize
these
them
elephants
and
get saved.
use
So
a crane
check
lift
that out. It's a show called
to
Mysterious
lift them up by
Creatures.
legs.
It comes
That's
in the
interesting.
night is the episode of that one. What you don't see in that show is halfway through one of the intense captures. By the way, these captures take like an army of people, right? You got like 35 people, 3 helicopters.
I ain't did nothing. I just put it in a bun.
Containers, the whole thing. And
I just put it in a pigtail.
You're not sleeping. Your adrenaline's on like level 12 out of 10.
Yeah, so got that shit up out the way. I ain't wearing my hat today.
It was, but
you feel me? I ain't wearing my hat today, so
on this like conveyor belt
got a little lazy.
into a transport box. And in order to move the elephants in these transport boxes, you have these giant, super heavy metal doors. Now keep in mind, we're talking about containing elephants. So the metal has to be about this thick, but it has to be tall enough that when you wake up an elephant, they can stand up inside of it. So these doors are 20 feet tall, 10, 15 feet wide, and this thick pure metal. They weigh as much as an SUV, if not more. So the way these doors work is they open like this and they close together. But at the end of where they open, there's a tiny little like chain or rope that keeps them from sliding out the end of the door. And in this case, we had little links of chain, because if the door slides too far, they just come out of the hinges and fall flat. So our cameraman JQ is sitting there filming, and we're just getting ready to put this elephant in. So we decide to open the doors, right? So the door opens to the left, JQ's on the right, and the door goes to open on the right. two of the guys go to slide it as hard as they can because these things weigh a ton. It's like pushing a car. So you
about an
push as hard as you can,
half.
it gets momentum on the greased up roller. And JQ's sitting under there shooting this beautiful cinematic angled shot with the light flares and all that stuff. And as he's shooting it, the door gets pushed and nobody's latched that safety latch to keep the door from sliding out and falling flat. So the door slides out and you just hear like that sound of
that door
metal
did not
screeching.
almost fall on
and
buddy.
This door that literally weighs tons comes falling down at JQ, literally about to flatten him like a pancake, instant death, break every bone in his body. And by some miracle, and I swear I chalk this stuff up to karma because we were there to save elephants, by some miracle, the tiny little, one of the links in the chain, in this, like the chain that holds it around, caught on the side of the door's eye, and it caught it like that, and the whole door swung instead of falling flat, and landed, like the side of the door landed about this far from JQ, and the top part.
And they just said this is the same door that weighs more than a damn SUV. Yeah, that's crazy. That door would have killed him.
Literally, the margin for error was maybe that much. He was millimeters from that thing slipping. If some stars hadn't aligned and that little chain link hadn't caught that eye, he undeniably, that door would have fallen flat, flattened him instantly on the spot. That could have been the end of one of my favorite human beings in the whole world. And I was standing watching this all take place 10 feet away from the other door as though it happened in instant but also slow motion. And it was a serious
that damn sure
Coming
was
in at
scary,
number
bro.
3
Ain't no way
was
it wasn't.
the time that we nearly lost the biggest crocodile that I've ever had the joy of catching. So here we are in Mozambique, and we're targeting this giant crocodile. We have to catch him and move him. Whole thing's a crazy story, another episode of Mysterious Creatures. But what ended up happening was this big old croc, this man-eater, came into this cage door closed, and we trapped the croc. All goes fine, door closes, croc's there in the morning, neck rope goes on.
That should be fun.
I tell everybody, trust me, it's all good, this is how we do it, hold this rope, get ready, okay, open the door. We open the door, croc backs out, takes off swimming. I'm like, here we go, we're good, because it's a plenty strong rope. Everybody cranks him in, all good. Now, the croc is on shore, on the bank, tail's in the water, body's on shore. We have to take the rope off and tie him up, tie his eyes up, tie his jaws up, everything else. So I get his jaws tied up, and now we have to remove the rope to tie his legs up, right? That's like the process in which you do this. Now we're on the steep, super slippery, muddy bank.
Why didn't they pull him up all the way?
Now the croc's jaws are tied, meaning if he were to escape at this point, he's going to starve to death because he's got no way of eating.
That's facts.
As we get the rope off, the croc comes back to life. And that's what reptiles do, by the way. They sit and chill, and you've probably seen this with lizards in your own backyard, and they wait, and then they bolt of energy, and the reason they do that is because they most of them cannot breathe while running, so they bolt, and then they stop and recharge. Well, this croc had just recharged for a while, timing was terrible, and he exploded, and there's nothing you can do to hold a 19-foot croc, so he explodes, goes into death roll, and the rope slips off. All of a sudden, he lashes sideways and starts making his way, jaws taped, back into the water.
Oh no.
So I start screaming. I'm like, help, 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 help. Drop everything. Help, help, help. So everybody,
they can't let him go, because if they do, he's going to die because his mouth is taped.
Drops everything they're doing and jumps in. And it was literally Mitch who I started screaming, hey, Mitch, put down the camera and help. So he throws the camera in the mud, and we just managed to hold on to the croc as he's thrashing like crazy. Again, his jaws are taped. And finally, we managed to kind of subdue him and get him back up. But there was moments there where I wasn't scared for my life, but I was so
scared for the crocodile, bro.
Because
hey, that's a real G right there. I mess with him.
He was a foot away.
Hey, he's scared for the animals, bro. He wasn't even worried about himself.
Leg dig into the mud and a kick
away
from
facts.
Complete freedom.
And he would have died though, because his mouth was taped. He can't eat. He would have died
of starvation, and we would have not only failed our mission, but literally killed this amazing animal. So
that's crazy.
I'm really glad that didn't happen. So that was a pretty big moment. Next up at number 2 was the time that we were filming a Garmin commercial in the Everglades. And nearly
Pause, bro. Did you just see the water, bro? Okay, so I want to go hunting and shit. You feel me? I would like to do some of this shit. You feel me? But walking in water,
and when I say nearly, it's
that
pretty
look
funny,
like this,
we're standing there in the
bro. It's alligators, it's snakes, it's fish, it's shit you ain't never seen before. It's bugs you ain't never seen before. It's aquatic animals you ain't never seen before.
Walking in water is a big no for me.
That shit be crazy,
and I'm
bro.
talking about my inReach, which I've got on
like
my
some shit could
backpack,
just
and my
come in,
watch, which I've
boom!
got on my wrist.
Yo, ass gone,
and
bud.
leading up to this,
That
Mitch
gonna be
and
right
Kyle
here, and then you gonna be
sitting
like,
right in this room here go, I don't know, man. It's a lot of lightning.
Like,
in front of me.
hell
Like,
no,
shut up,
bro.
you sissies.
Fuck
We'll be
that.
fine. And I was so wrong.
Fuck
because
that.
I go marching out into the water to get this cool shot off the road to talk about my
go
Garmin
fishing
products.
after my leg
And
be
as
normal
I
again.
do that,
Yes,
literally
sir.
as I get set up, I think
This
the
shit
guys
fun as
just start
hell.
rolling cameras, right? Isn't that you just started rolling? Yeah. And they just start rolling cameras. I'm like, all right, so honest gear review time. When I'm out here in a place like this, in a remote swamp where the thunder's cracking off and there's alligators cruising around, there's a couple things that I absolutely cannot live without. One of those is a GPS. Doesn't matter where you go in the world, you should always have a GPS. And I used to carry a big, bulky handheld one. And
Damn!
I got hit. I felt it, yeah. I got hit.
Darn.
That hurt. Yeah, it just hurt.
What the?
Yeah.
Oh shit, bruh. They could have gave me a fucking warning, bro. That shit made my heart jump out my goddamn. This, bro. He just got hit by fucking lightning, bro. How the like? Of course it hit the water and it went through the water and hit him too, but like, what the fuck, bro? I almost want to play that shit back again, but that shit was loud as fuck, bro. That shit scared the shit out of my ass, what?
Alright. I'm okay. And it's like, go, boom! And this giant bolt of lightning comes streaking down like 20 feet behind me, and it shoots. I feel it, like my whole body and legs go, ugh. And what was so crazy is the way that all the muscles tensed up. My thigh muscles, my butt muscles, my leg muscles just went like as hard as they could and then relaxed. And I like jumped out of the water, and even Mitch, who had 1 foot in the water for filming, felt it shoot up his leg. I got hit. That hurt. Really hurt, actually.
Come sit down. Yeah.
I'm okay. We need to do it again.
You should sit down.
No, I'm fine. Oh, did you get hit?
I mean, I felt it in my heart a little bit.
I did. I feel it in my butt. And yeah, we were 20 feet away
yo,
from a
bro,
pretty
that
major
shit was
lightning
what
strike,
the
but
fuck?
thankfully nobody died. I tasted metal in my mouth for like a week. Felt pretty silly for a little while, but that was a pretty wild moment. All doing stupid
That was
stuff,
a
like trying to
big
film a
oh
Garmin
shit
commercial.
moment.
And my number one to this day
Bruh.
moment was the time that for spring break of my college year, my buddy Nick Mancuso and
that last one was crazy, bro.
went
That
down
shit
to
scared the shit out of
Amazon
my eye,
jungle
bro.
to go catch anacondas and have fun for the first time ever. Long story short, amazing trip, caught huge anacondas, all kinds of snakes, everything else. But what was interesting was there were 3 of us, right? There was Mike Knorr. He is the turtle guy. In fact, he's the lead biologist, I think, on turtles in the state of North Carolina. Like top tier turtle guy.
I don't know
Nick
about that
was
one.
the snake guy. I like all these animals as well, of course, but I was the crocodilian guy. I'd grown up in Zimbabwe. I'd caught Nile crocs my whole life. I'd been to Australia. Like, I was the guy that knew the most about crocs. So we followed Nick, and we caught Amazon tree boas, and we caught anacondas, and we caught fer-de-lance, and all this amazing stuff, musaranas. And then we followed Mike, and we found Podoc nemus, and we looked for Matamata, and it was insane. And then
That's
it was
crazy.
my turn, and I was like, I gotta show off, right? So we're at this beautiful place, this place called Sani River Lodge in Ecuador. Stunning place, I strongly recommend it. And they've got these old wooden dugout canoes.
No
and
slack.
I celebrated,
No
the night,
slack?
that's funny, but the night before that
No
was the
slack?
night that I had to show
What's
off as to
slack?
how to catch
No
big
slack?
crocodilians. So we take this
Hey,
old
what's up?
school dugout Amazonian
No
wooden
slack?
canoe,
What you
right?
talking
about,
Welcome to
brother?
the stream. Here's how you do
That's
it. This was before the days of
facts.
catch poles. Now you can kind of buy these catch poles, but I used to take a PVC tube, tie a slip knot noose, and the noose, the slip knot part of the noose would come over the PVC tube, making a big noose. Basically envision a dog catcher's pole. And I brought all this with me. I bought PVC while I was there. I made the whole thing, so I showed these guys. This is how I'd done it as a kid.
No
Had some thoughts about
slacking.
this big.
That's
In my stories
facts,
to them,
bro.
they were this big.
That's
so they
big
thought I knew what I
facts.
was doing.
Wait, hold up,
Anyway,
wait a
we
minute.
got in this dugout wooden canoe.
Pause. Reveal yourself, brother. Who is Asika? Cause you said no slacking. That mean you know me. That mean you know me.
And I'm like,
I
listen,
ain't gonna
I'll
lie.
go in the front. I'll noose the
Got
black
to.
caiman, so you guys can see how to
Got
catch
to.
caimans.
Who you
Keep
be,
in mind,
man?
we're kids,
Reveal
right? We're
yourself.
20, 21 years old. We don't know what we're doing. I'd never do this today. Just catch them to catch them. But when you're 20, that's what you do. Look at those kids online. That's all the yoink guys. That's all they do.
Damn.
Anyway, here I am.
That man
I'm
just
going
had like
down
20
and trying to
snakes
teach
on
these
his
guys
neck,
how to
bro.
catch
What the
caimans. So I
fuck?
get my PVC rig, Mike Knorr's in the middle and Nick's in the back. And I'm like, all right, you guys row, I'll guide, I'll say go right, go left, and we'll get up on a caiman and we'll get the noose around him, we'll get the noose pulled tight, and then you row backwards and we get to the shore and we catch him. Similar to the crocodile story I told. So this all goes perfectly. We're cruising, we catch one, he's like this big, the guys are stoked, it's a smooth fronted caiman.
See, that's the biggest crocodile I'm catching. I don't want nothing bigger.
So we're cruising around, spotting with the flashlights.
The only thing I'ma do
in the distance, on the far bank, there's an
pull
eyeball
out that
like this.
doo-doo.
It's like a glowing golf ball because caiman.
Well, it ain't gonna be no deuce though.
Major
It ain't gonna be no deuce though. It's gonna be way stronger than that.
How do we do this?
No, I can't type ISTG.
We're paddling up.
Hey, be like that.
The bank's like here. The caiman's sitting right here beside the bank with the water here, and I'm like, bring the canoe right up, bring the canoe right up towards him, and I'll get the noose around him. But what ended up happening was
a canoe flip
slowly like this, and as we got close, I realized the caiman was the size of our canoe. I mean, it was absolutely massive.
See, and that's why I'm not chasing no crocodiles.
And what I didn't realize is we were approaching. I thought he was maybe this way or this way. He was this way. We end up approaching like this. And what ends up happening is so crazy because we pinned this giant caiman between the bank and the deep water because it's so shallow with our canoe. Well, as we do that and we get close, I begin to reach out, like I begin to sit up and reach out with the noose.
I done flipped in a kayak before too.
I realized
that's how you spell it.
The caiman starts to billow, like growl, and he just lunges at us, and it was literally like something out of the Matrix. He lunges at us, and I go sideways like this. I'm in the front of the canoe, and Nick goes back like this. But the biggest was Mike Knorr, our buddy. He grabs his arms and he goes flat like this in the canoe, and the caiman launches itself onto the wooden dugout canoe and is just snapping like this. And Mike's under
crazy than a boy.
And this caiman's literally on top of him, snapping his jaws, and I'm like scooting.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if y'all have ever watched Animal Planet and heard a crocodile or an alligator but that ain't no, like this, when he says the crocodile was snapping.
I did.
Bruh, that's like like I wish I had 2 pieces of metal. Like it be sounding like, bruh, that shit be sounding vicious. He'd be like, boom, 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 but hey, if that's, bruh.
Back in the canoe as much as I can,
bruh.
And Nick,
ain't no way
he's taking the paddle and paddling backwards like he's gonna paddle away from the canoe. This thing is literally in our canoe, snapping. The canoe starts to tip over because it's so big, and the caiman just lunges its head, misses me by literally like inches with its snapping jaws, and slides back into the water and explodes off. And it was just like, so many things could have gone wrong. Our canoe could have been flipped. Mike, if he hadn't done his Matrix,
that's facts. I'm gonna need me a sniper or something like that. I'm gonna be real with you.
I ain't insane, and it was the biggest.
That's like a caiman is like Daquan in Fortnite Season 2 with a double pump. Like, nah, bro. I'm not getting nowhere closer, bro.
Remember having, and it was 100% my fault,
and
it was also stupid. And I remember me being me. The first thing I said once that finished, and everybody was like shell shocked. I was like, well, that's not how you catch a caiman, boys. And they were so pissed at me. Mike literally punched me in the leg, but we went on to catch about 5 more.
Punch you in the leg, but I would have had to punch you in the jaw, bro.
That was just a pretty scary moment.
I'd have been like, hey,
anyway,
bro,
let me know if you guys liked our top 5 moments. I have dozens more.
I'll mess with you, my boy. But like, he said punch him in the leg. We wouldn't be punching him in the leg. I'll be hitting him in his jaw, and I'll be like, hey, bro, don't play with my life like that no more. I thought you was the caiman hunter. You supposed to know what you doing, big dog. Like, you got us rolling up on the caiman that's longer than our boat, and man's out here, nah, bro. Like, I know Mike, the guy who had to lay all the way back, he was like, yeah, Mike ain't messing with you, big dog. Like, what are you doing? Like, now, Mike, hey, look, as soon as we got back on dry land, if I was Mike, we'd have been throwing hands, because I had a caiman on top of me, chomping his gums, like.
Hey, how you made this shit go? Bitch, I got gas like a sicko. She poppin' pussy like pimples. Send my brother like kinfolk. You get spun in the simple.